would find it plausible. Well, I guess I deserved it. I deserved it because men have feelings and we don't.
All right, so that brings us to the next interview. In light of the recent killings of women in the hands of their partners, there is a poem that had been doing the rounds on social media denouncing gender-based violence, and in it the poet asks in Sesotho, "Ho bolokeile kae ho ba mosadi," which translates to "Where is it safe to be a woman?" The writer and the poet herself, Retabile Mutibedi, joins us now live via Skype. Good afternoon to you, Retabile. Thank you so much for joining us here on the SABC News channel.
Good afternoon, Palisa. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming through. So, wow, Hobolokeile Gai Hoba Mosadi has been trending on social media for the past few days. How did this particular topic come about?
I don't think it was a topic as such because it's something that's really close to my heart. I'm a woman, first of all. I've been a victim. I have people who are close to me who have been victims to this violence. And I don't know. It's something that just hurt me so much that I just started writing and I couldn't stop writing. I just went on and on and on. When I started crying, then I stopped.
Because I wanted to say, Retabile, that when one listens carefully and watches very closely, it shows that it's something that comes from within, because in some instances you even share some tears. So every time you perform this particular one, it has emotions wrapped up against all over it.
It is. I don't know. I love telling stories, and I believe that the best way to make a person understand where you're coming from is to tell your story with emotions. It's difficult to say, "Don't kill me," and expect someone to understand. But when you're saying it with power, with emotion, then the perpetrator might understand that perhaps this person, feels something, some sort of pain, So I prefer to put emotion on every poem that I write because I want the recipient, the audience to understand the content in detail, in depth.
So as you said that we are now facing this huge scourge of gender-based violence in the country, what role do you think poetry can play in the fight against gender-based violence?
Well, I think a lot of people are afraid, I think particularly they're afraid of speaking out. And I think most men are afraid also of speaking out. When we say we are against gender-based violence as poets, we are not basically saying that we support women only. It's not only women who are being killed, who are being raped. Men are also being abused. But I think it has to come to a point where even male poets stand up. They write the stories about the point, the side of the perspective from the male view. I think it will help a lot.
So you specifically address men, I believe, in this particular one, What has their response been? As I said on my introduction, that this particular poem has been trending for a number of days now on social media, and you may have seen the comments and the response from men themselves. What exactly are they saying? Do you think that you've sort of touched the nerve somewhere with this poem?
I think I have. The response has been very overwhelming. I've had men who sent me messages. They've sent me inboxes. Most of them were apologizing. It's family men, it's brothers, people who are saying they have sisters, they have females in their lives, and they were saying they're very sorry that as a woman I have to go through this thing, And there were very few male who were saying that it's almost like I'm saying male violence, like the what's this thing? The violence against men doesn't exist, because he was like the other one was saying, what about men? What about men who are being killed? What about men who are being raped by women? And I just couldn't respond, because at that moment the poem wasn't about that. It was just about this one in particular, women being killed, because it's the one at the moment that's.
Oh, wow, Retabile, time constraints, I'm afraid. But thank you so much for coming through. And we wish you everything of the very best, more so as we continue with the scourge of gender-based violence. Ralebo, thank you.
Thank you very much.